This is the United Podcast Network.
Welcome to Tell Us Why, a podcast for the financial freedom community. If you're looking to succeed in your quest for financial freedom, make sure you join us every week as we, along with our guests, discuss different stories of success, how they were achieved, and how you can do the same. And of course, we ask them to tell us why. Here are your hosts, Jack and Mike.
Welcome to the Tell Us Why podcast. I am your host, Jack Darrable, here alongside my co-host, Michael Ketchin. A little Maverick and Goose action going on with the glasses, I guess, but
we're outside.
We are outside.
A different setting.
A little bit. So
Definitely
for those listening to the podcast, you definitely want to check out the YouTube with the nice, what's the name of these mountains?
The
Bridger,
Mountains.
yeah.
Bozeman,
I would say Bridger,
Montana.
Canada. Bozeman, Montana.
We're not going to ask you to spell Bridger. Don't worry about it.
Thank you.
All right.
No spelling today.
No spelling.
Little impromptu podcast, so I got nothing to read. Got nothing to screw up, I think, except just talking normally. But other than that,
you do struggle with it. And
I do, yeah.
No, today's going to be a great episode because what we're really getting into is everything we've been talking about for the last year as we started building the community, right? Living your why. So we thought this would be a great episode for the Financial Freedom Series. Because, what is the point? I mean, we're out here, we're working. We'll get into a touch on the episode. We're investing.
A lot of work being done this week. It wasn't.
And it is expense write-off. It's all work.
It is.
Corey's listening. It's all work.
But, Mr. Government official.
Yeah, living our why. So we're gonna get into it. It's gonna be exciting. We're gonna bring you guys a great episode and hopefully get you guys inspired and come join this Tell Us Why community and continue to grow and follow our journeys, and let's start your own or help to progress your own. But before we do that, should we hear what this week's episode is brought to us by?
Let's do it.
Are you sick of being treated like just another number by large insurance companies? Do you want a more personalized experience with somebody that you can trust? With Keith Monteith, that's exactly what you'll get. Keith is an experienced professional who can design an insurance plan tailored to fit your specific needs. With access to over 30 insurance carriers, Keith is able to shop numerous markets to find a price that works for you. So if you want an insurance agent that you can rely on and one that has your best interests at heart, then call or text Keith today on 978-241-2363. That's 978-241-2363. Keith Monty. He'll get you covered. Are you looking to finance your next deal quickly and reliably with less hassle and paperwork? QS Private Lending is one of the oldest and largest hard money lenders to real estate investors in New Hampshire, Massachusetts, and Rhode Island. Our quick and simple short-term loans require no appraisals and have enabled hundreds of builders and investors to profitably acquire and renovate thousands of residential and commercial properties. To experience the QS difference for yourself, call or text Luke Conroy today at 315-323-0250. That's 315-323-0250. QS Private Lending.
All right, so we are here in Bozeman, Montana. How did we get here? How did this come about? I know your story goes a lot further back than my story.
So actually, Bozeman plays a pretty crucial role in my own journey, as it was the first place that really felt like home when we traveled, and I wanted more. We wanted something else to do. And we really had to build a lifestyle and a design like we talk about to allow us to enjoy this.
Lifestyle design.
So we had to sit down. We had to make a plan because it wasn't hope. It was an actual plan. And we said we need to find assets that can allow us this financial freedom. And let's also do that in Montana and other places. It's really the catalyst. So fast forward, we bought a place out here. We Airbnb'd it. We sold it. Rolled that money in to the purchase of the one we're in now. Now we're in a refi and roll property, as you know. It was 2,500 square feet. We bought for $970,000.
Does this qualify as a burr? Can
Yes,
$1 million property qualify as a burr?
I'm going to get into it because we put in about 175 between finishing the basement and furnishings. And now we got the appraisal next week. And the agent we met with out here looking at another property, he anticipates it coming in with a 2 front of it.
That's nuts.
So 4 months close to close.
I didn't realize there was that kind of numbers in Bozeman. I don't know what I expected.
You learn something new every day.
It's Montana.
So there you go. So yeah, so more importantly though, what's different about this is back to that lifestyle, living your why. So I was really excited to have the whole Tell Us Why team out here. Obviously Jack, executive producer Jake behind the lens. And this week, you guys got to see a little bit about what I'm about. I think what you're about.
Well, yeah. I mean, I just go into how I got here. Like we were talking, a week and a half ago?
Yeah, not
we
long
were
ago.
doing something and
Not long ago.
you have 5 bedrooms and only I think Lee and Adam are coming.
Yeah.
And it's like, we're only using 3. You want to come? And Jake and I are like,
why not?
yep.
Let's do it. Let's spend a week doing it.
My life has been designed so I can work from anywhere. Granted, I work in my office at home 99% of the time, but I don't need to be there, so I can work from here. I can get everything.
Choosing to work and having to work, 2 very different things we talk about.
But when that opportunity presented itself, absolutely. I mean, I came to Bozeman. It was probably like 6 or 7 years ago, and the first time I came here, it was one of those places that, like going to Yellowstone, it was one of those places that I never imagined that I'd have. Like I never had a burning desire to see Yellowstone.
Yep.
But leaving, I was like, everybody needs to come here. Like, this is a bucket list item. You need to see it. And we went there. Was that yesterday we went there?
Yeah.
2 days ago.
2 days ago, we went and checked it out and spent the day. And the best part is, tying it all together, the life that you've built, the lifestyle that we talk about, that financial freedom, be able to hop on a plane, be able to come have fun. We actually did look at properties. So this whole trip was actually an expense. We looked at properties early. I think we're going to offer on something. I think we're looking at potentially doing some ground up, collaborating, ground up construction at an emerging market near Bozeman that will Airbnb or sell off multiple exit strategies.
Yeah.
Right. We're getting into that. And we have that. Back to like we always talk about the systems, the teams out here, right? We already have the team in Bozeman. My properties out here, that would kind of be the catalyst of that.
Yeah.
We've got the network of people looking to invest. We've built that all up. And then the best part is you get to go out, you get to enjoy being out here. I mean, we're talking about we're last night, having some adult beverages, maybe hot tub, stargazing, and looking at big sky. Like this is what it's all about.
It's a little bit different than back home right now. I mean, it's so cold out here, but like having the hot tub on the deck, like just getting to live life on your terms, I guess is.
And how do you design that? So for those listening, Jack, who are thinking about financial freedom, what is one actionable step we can give them? Because, obviously, usually we go through it, we talk about it, but you're on this journey now. I'm on this journey. We're here. What is one actionable step you would give the Tell Us Why community?
Well, I mean, I think you start at the end. Like you started with the end in mind. You wanted to be able to travel. Like I know you have vacation homes in different areas throughout the country.
Yep.
Nothing international, right? And if traveling is something that you enjoy, something you want to do with your wife, girlfriend, boyfriend, whatever, family. I don't know why that's so difficult. Yeah, if you want to go by yourself.
Words are just hard.
Apparently, this is awkward, but but I mean, like, start with that goal in mind. Like, if you want to be able to travel, like, you don't have to stay at home. Like, I think something that we mentioned on the Airbnb podcast. What was it, webinar? This is going to be something like a billion people that can work remotely across the world.
Yeah, by 2035.
They don't need to be in their office. They don't need to travel into Boston and go into the 30-story office building to work. Like, they can work from anywhere. And you probably can too if you're listening to this. So design the life that you want. Like, just go get like you like going to Florida in the winters. Go get a house in Tampa, or I'll tell you mine. I mean, whatever you want to do. So just do something as simple as that. Like, go get educated.
Write it down. Make it real. Start with the end in mind, whether it's, hey, I want to travel, or I want some assets, or hey, I want to start a business, or I want to start a side hustle. I want to see my friends and family more. Be intentional, like we talk about, right?
Be intentional.
Write it down.
Powerful.
Start with the end in mind. Define the goal. Define where you're going, right? Then work backwards. Break it down into actionable steps. If I want to be somewhere in 5 years, okay, break that down. 5 years from now, here's my goal. Okay, well, what does that look like yearly? What does that look like monthly? What does that look like weekly? What does that look like daily? And then start to put up barriers around your time to protect it. Because honestly, if someone's not helping you move towards that goal, if they're distracting you from obtaining the goal that you really want, the thing that you write down, that you visualize, it's time to make some tough decisions. So how bad do you really want it? Is it something you think would be fun, or do you truly want it? Because if you truly want it, you write it down and start taking action, intentional action. I guarantee you'll be closer to obtaining it.
Yeah.
So that's one step that we think we get everybody to. It also ties back to your why. And way back, I think I was episode 2 or 3, whatever it was. My why was really, to Jack's point, lifestyle design, with my wife and what we wanted. My father passed away at 46. I'm 37 now. There are no guarantees.
That's so young. That's crazy.
I can't believe how close I am to it now, which is the part that kind of weirds me out. And it goes back to, like I talk about, like, I hate saying it because, like, you don't have to go get $1 billion. You don't have to do any of that. But life is too short to waste a single moment doing something that makes you unhappy. And I don't mean, do what you love and get paid to what you love. I don't mean any of that bullshit. What I mean is if something is truly upsetting you or there's something you feel like is out of your control, guess what? Total accountability. You actually are in control of everything and how you react to it. You might not be in control of everything that happens to you. You are in control of how you respond to it and how you react to it. So that's another mental shift you have to make.
Yeah, and I mean, some of those things, it's difficult, but it's removing people from your life potentially. Like if there's your best friend since you were 2 years old, I mean, and they're just a negative drain on your energy, it's going to be tough sometimes. But like I've consciously over the past, I guess 2, 3, 4, 5 years probably started kind of distancing myself from those individuals. And unfortunately, like the most prominent example for me was a family member. So it's like obviously still love that individual, but it's difficult.
You have to love yourself first, and that's being intentional.
Like I just negativity every day, every phone call or every time you see him, and it's just like, well,
it's an energy drain.
It's just not something that you want in your life. So switch it up.
And those are some of the the tough conversations, tough decisions you have to make. But going back to what we said, your why. If your why is strong enough, if you really, really think about what you want and where you're going, that'll help you really be able to make those tough decisions because you're betting on yourself.
Yeah.
You're taking action like we always talk about. And it goes back to, again, thinking and being intentional, like we mentioned, with the goals, with the why. Because then the other thing is systems, processes. The other thing I see is, okay, I'm going to do everything. Shiny object syndrome. Yeah. The next step we would tell you is,
hey, we're both guilty of that too. So
it happens. You're entrepreneurs. But if you sit down, I'm going to go back to what we did out here. Okay, so we're looking at a ground up. We could potentially build, somewhere 6 to 8 units, whatever we're looking at. Well, let's walk it through real quick. We had the team in terms of the brokers who could do it. We have the team in terms of the lenders who will lend on it. We have the capital partners to loan money on it. We have the execution to build it because we have the contractors. Then we have the systems to run them, to get long-term debt, to protect the investment, and most importantly, execute the plan. And then we have the exit strategies. That's a real estate transaction. But you should have systems and procedures for anything you're looking to do, right? Yep. Sit down, write it out. Hey, what would it look like to obtain this? What are my systems? What are my checks and balances? How do I ensure that I execute this plan that I'm designing for myself? Yeah. And I feel like we don't do that enough,
Yeah, and just going back to something you were alluding to before, like it's the opportunities. Like I always love to use the car example because whenever you buy a car, you think it doesn't, like nobody else has it, but when you buy it, like a yellow Porsche, I love using the yellow Porsche as an example, but like you finally get that enough money, you buy that yellow Porsche, and then all of a sudden you're driving that yellow Porsche and you see it everywhere. Yep. Like when you're looking for opportunity, you see opportunity everywhere. Like it's just in business when you're looking for opportunities. If you're not looking for opportunities, everything seems like it's a problem or an issue. You're not going to see the opportunity that's there. But when you're looking for this specific opportunity, the more defined you can make it, the better. But when you're looking for the opportunities, they're all over the place. You just have to be able to receive that message and realize that it is, in fact, something that you can work with, or I mean, whatever it is, like creative. Make it something.
Yeah, make it something, get creative. Yeah. And staying with that. So, to recap so far. So we've got start with the end in mind, systems, processes, intentional action. I would say the next step is networking, understanding. So going back to what Jack just said a second ago, everyone goes, well, how do I get started? Where do I get started? Go out and find someone or multiple people who are living and doing the thing you think you want to do. Add value to them. And I guarantee they'll share their resources, their tips and tricks. People love to talk and share. That's the thing about entrepreneurs, right? But you got to add value. If you go into a conversation and you're looking to extract, me, it's not going to work. You need to add value. What's going on here?
You're talking about yourself.
Oh, am I?
I mean, that's not the one reason I'm here. Like you love to talk. Like part of the reason that I'm here personally, obviously we all get along very well, but
Jake's okay.
We're potentially turning something into an Airbnb. You're going through the entire process of turning this into an Airbnb. Like I've been taking in almost everything that you've been saying about the process this entire time.
Quiet this whole week.
Yeah, I'm mentally drained from it.
Spending a week with
listening to you for 19 hours a day. Oh my god, the introvert in me is like. Yesterday at 1 o'clock in the afternoon, I was ready for bed. I was like, I need 20 minutes. Like, let me recharge real quick.
Now you know how my wife feels. But no, to that point. everyone loves to help and everyone loves to build when you surround yourself with the right people. We talked about this, right?
That's why I'm moving furniture this weekend.
Thank you. Yes, well, you've done like one thing. I mean, but staying with that. We talked about. It really is a mental shift, and every conversation I try to have, and I'm not always perfect about it, but I actually try to add value, not extract. And I really think it's been a secret to our success is I just try to connect people and I try to network with people. And I love, like, nothing gives me more joy than saying, hey, you're looking for this opportunity and I know this guy does that. And if I connect the two of you, magic can happen. And I don't charge fees. I don't give a shit about any of that.
You should.
Because, well, maybe I should, but I don't know. But I really don't care. I want to see everyone succeed. So where I'm going with that is, conversely, back to the systems, you have to safeguard your time because you can also run yourself ragged.
Yeah.
And that's why it's so important to be selective with who and what you're spending and giving your time to. And that's something I struggle with all the time. As those at home listening might have noticed, I don't shut up. So it's very hard to take a break,
Yeah.
You're talking about over there?
Nothing. But I mean, we had this, like, we were at a cigar lounge the other night, and we had the same conversation. Like, we connected two guys, three of them, that potentially might be guests on the Tell Us Why podcast, but they're all entrepreneurs. They're all
selling products.
From different, completely different business lines. Like, not anything real estate related, but I mean, it's like a subscription model, a sales model, and then kind of a manufacturing and sales model. But like, hopefully, get them on the podcast. We had great connections, and one of the individuals was talking about, like, he just adds value wherever he can. He's not selfish about it. He goes and, like, I mean, even just smoking the cigar lounge, he was like, hey, I know this guy, you should reach out to him about, like, real estate or whatever it was. We get the specific instance, but
yeah,
I mean, just people like that, just are going to succeed.
And we literally just met him. They walked in the chair in the lounge and just met him.
It was a quarter of a cigar through, and he's already connecting us with someone and making those connections. So hopefully we can reciprocate. Or
yeah, shout out to Timberline Lounge in Bozeman, Montana. Check it out if you're in town. Unbelievable place. But yeah, like I said, that's what we really want to do with this week's episode of the Financial Freedom Series, and really kind of hammer home those points. And I'd ask everybody out there, feel free to reach out to myself, to Jack, to Jake, to the Tell Us Why page on Instagram, on LinkedIn, on Facebook, everywhere but TikTok, as you all know. So
because Mike hasn't done it, it's embarrassing.
We'll collaborate. Also, more excitingly, before we get out of here, I want to touch on.
I gotta flip the script. I gotta
go from that. We're building, and some exciting stuff coming. We're now got the website up. We're going to be doing a monthly.
Check it out. TellUsWhyPodcast.com.
Right. Thank you.
Put a lot of work into that. Boom.
We're going to be doing a bi-monthly virtual meetup. So,
that's exciting too.
We'll blast the links out there, but make sure you get in there. The webinars have been great.
Throw it up
People
on the
taking
website.
action. Yeah, we'll throw it up on the website. Somewhere. Put it on social media too. But definitely come be part of this community we're building. If you're at all interested in financial freedom, if you're all interested in learning some resources, just basically betting on yourself in any form. Doesn't matter where you start. You really can't control that, but you can control where you finish. And I think that so often gets lost. We're always, woe is me, I don't have this, I don't have. Well, no one gives a shit, okay? What they do care about is what you do. And bet on yourself is all about betting on yourself. Writing it down, taking action, having a plan, and getting the fuck after it.
Don't get
That's
distracted.
what it's about. Exactly. Intentional action.
Being intentional.
What do you think? You got anything else to add here?
I got nothing. We don't have a quote of the week this week, so hashtag bet on yourself.
Quote of the week is come to Montana because it's amazing.
It is. Great.
So we will see you soon next time. And until then,
hashtag bet on yourself.
Like it.
The views and opinions expressed by the host, guests, or callers of this program do not necessarily reflect the opinions of the Studio 21 Podcast Cafe, the United Podcast Network, its partners, or affiliates.